Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a game 5 of the World Championship match 2024 between Grandmaster Gukesh and Grandmaster Ding Liren. Now in game 5, Gukesh has a white pieces and Ding has a black pieces. The score is 2-2 tie. So let's start the game 5 guys. Gukesh opened with the e4, Ding responds with the e6, that is the French defense. In the first game, when the French defense played, Ding beats Gukesh with the black pieces. So there must be a firework in the French defense in this game also. So let's see what happens. Gukesh plays d4, Ding responds with the d5. Now the exchange variation of French defense. This is a very dry and equilish position of the French defense as there is no fireworks like the first game. So let's see what Gukesh told in this game for novelty. Pawn capture pawn, and now knight f3, knight f6, bishop d3, c4. Ding Liren challenged Gukesh for the center. He says, I'm okay to play with this isolated pawn. If you capture my pawn, my bishop is going to capture your pawn, and I have the active pieces, and your piece is still on the 7th rank. So Gukesh says, no thank you, Ding. He plays c3, and now just simply c4, bishop to c2, and now bishop to d6, queen to e2, and now queen to e7. The idea of the queen to e7 is to exchange the queens. Of course, you don't want it to play bishop to e6 as white can place knight to g5, and it's very good for white. So Ding says, okay, queen capture queen, and now the move Ding plays is to king capture the queen. This is the most key move in this position, guys, because after the king moves, rook can come to the here and king goes here. You basically castle. If you can capture with the bishop, then you will lose a tempi, and white is a tempi up. So in the any game, what you should not want to do is lose a tempi without a reason. Otherwise, you can be a worse in a game. So Ding plays accurately, and now Gukesh castles, and now rook to e8, rook to e1, king to f8, rook takes rook, and king takes rook. Bishop to g4, and now knight to d7, protect the knight, and now knight to d2 and h6. This is a very good move. This is a very I mean, it's a educational purpose. This is if let's say black plays a6, white can go to the rook to the e1, king to f8, knight to e5, let's say b5, and now bishop to f4. Now your bishop is under fire. This knight has a great square. You cannot capture this knight, and also there is a score. Of course, engine is saying after bishop to b8, this position is equal, but Ding is not engine. He is a human, and we are also humans. So after knight to b2, Ding plays h6. Now bishop to h4, knight to h5, trying to get control of this square, as g3 not possible because it traps the bishop. So rook to e1, king to f8, and now g4. Guys, I was looking the live stream. After the g4 move, the Grandmaster Judith Polgar and Robert has absolutely entered in a shock because it weakens the king. It has these juicy squares, but as for engine, it's equal. So Gukesh plays accurate move. So knight to f4, bishop to g3. Now he is a very tactical immense. Ding finds knight to b6 to get control of this square in future. And now Gukesh plays an absolute tricky move. I'm going to show you what happened. Of course, this is what happened in the game. In the game, Ding captures the pawn, which is an absolute best engine move. So Gukesh plays a nice trick here. Let's say if you give the check, king goes to the f1, and now if you captures with your knight, bishop comes with the check, and rook to h8. It's a checkmate. So let's say you don't capture the pawn, you eliminate this bishop, and now this pawn takes. Let's say now if you wanted to take back your piece back, now it's a simply queen, as there's no way stopping of the queen, and you're dead lost here. So Ding plays accurately, h takes g5, and now knight takes pawn, bishop to d7, which is an accurate move, knight to f3, rook to e8, knight to the e5, and now bishop takes knight, pawn takes bishop. This is an inaccuracy from Gukesh, as from this moment of the game Ding has a better position and he can win the game if he plays it. Of course it's not currently winning, but it can be a winning, because it's absolutely and a mistake from the Gukesh side, as the correct move here is to play rook takes e5. After rook takes e5, d takes e5. Let's say we goes bishop a4, bishop takes bishop, knight check, king f1 eliminates the bishop, and now just simply this is an equal game. So instead game after d takes e5, Ding Liren played an absolute best engine move, knight to d3. It hits the rook, it attacks the pawn, and also it hits his pawn. If rook tries to protect this pawn, you are losing this pawn. So Gukesh eliminates the knight. Pawn takes bishop, and now f3. This f3 is extremely critical in this game, and it is very impressive from Gukesh's side, as it frees the square from the king. It controls the d1 square, and it also so after knight to the e4, sorry, knight to the c4, Gukesh eliminates the knight. Pawn takes knight, rook to e4. This is the most active of the play of the game. You must play active. If your opponent has this kind of pass pawns, you must play active. If you don't play active right now, you are going to lose any game, because you cannot hold this game by passive. Of course there are the exceptions, but this position is not one of them. Bishop to now in this in the game Ding Liren plays bishop to c6, but what Tudit is saying is that an engine is saying is to the correct move is to play bishop to e6, at it protects the pawn and it keeps the advantage going, as white has technically no activity. Let's say white goes to rook to d4, you must have to see rook to the c1. If you don't see rook to the c1, you cannot play bishop to e6. As in the press conference, Ding Liren says that he didn't see after bishop to e6 rook to c1 move and his maneuver, so he does not play this. So let's see what happens after this. Let's say bishop to f2. Guys, I'm showing you top engine moves. Bishop to f2, rook to the c6, check, king to the d7, and now a simple takes, and now takes check, pawn takes. This in this position the black has the chance to win the game. Let's see what is white going to do here. White cannot play this. Of course he can play this, but black can play this, or also takes and takes. This is the pass pawn, these are two pass pawns, these are the isolated pawn. Of course you have a particular bishop, there is a chance of draw here, but the only one can win a game here is to black. Here white has to play absolute all the good moves and strong moves. Anyone inaccuracy can result in a losing of the game. So in the press conference, Grandmaster Morris Ashley asked the Ding why cannot he play this. He gave the reason as I give it, and he was very disappointed, Morris, as Ding didn't say this. And Gukesh also saw this line. Gukesh says in a press conference is that he saw this line and was extremely relieved that Ding plays bishop to c6, not a bishop to e6. So maybe it's for lucky for Gukesh. So after rook to the e4, Gukesh plays bishop to c6, rook to d4, pawn captures, and now king f2 again. In the game, Ding Liren plays bishop to c6 back. Again, he has to play bishop to h5 if he wanted to keep going the game, as this is not possible due to this. So now let's see. After this, after bishop to h5, the king has to come here. b5, b3, rook to c1, rook to h4, g6, and now just simply back and forth. Of course the king is covering the square, but white has no activity. White is extremely passive here. Black can place this, black can goes here, I mean black has all the moves here. So instead Ding chooses to go bishop to c6 in the game. Gukesh captures the pawn on the c4, and now just simply rook to d8, rook to d4, and now just exchange, bishop to d5, b3, king to d7, sorry, king to e7, king to e3, king to e6, king captures pawn, and now g6, and this is a complete draw position as white cannot go further and black is also cannot go further. So they plays back and forth, and the game ends in a draw. So this is a game 5 between the Ding and Gukesh. I hope you enjoy my analysis, and if you have any suggestions you can mention in the comment, and if you like the video please guys subscribe. So tomorrow Ding has a white pieces and Gukesh has a black pieces. So let's see what Ding brings up for tomorrow. Thank you guys.